今日はジョン・ウィリアムさんと初めて本当の意味でいろいろな音楽のお話聞いていきたいと思うんですけども、今、我々プロのギタリスト、プロアマチュア問わずクラシックギターというものを勉強している人、皆さんジョン・ウィリアムさんの影響の下にあると思うんですよね。で、このギターの可能性とか、それから、今回来日されて新しいプログラムいっぱいいつも新曲をなさるので、そういう曲を、皆さんの前で披露されて、いろいろな人にいろんな影響を与えていかれるんですけれども、そういうことを含めてですね、今日はいろいろジョン・ウィリアムさんの魅力っていうか、音楽的な魅力についていろいろお伺いしていきたいと思います。
Thank you very much. From the 19th century, we had really an amateur background. The guitar was not part of the big European classical mainstream because the sound is small and the repertoire is small, and it was a new instrument really. And then in the 20th century, it's become a concert instrument that we know, we learnt. But our repertoire has been developed from an amateur 19th century repertoire. It includes many contemporary pieces, it includes much 20th century music, but I think the wonderful, wonderful thing for today, which is for us and for our contemporaries and for students, for everyone, amateurs and professionals, is that the world of music, not just guitar, but the world of music is truly extended to include all musical cultures.
ジョン・ウィリアムスさんが、今日まで一つの、開拓者として先にそれをいろいろなんていうか開拓してこられたっていうか、あなたが一つの道を作ってこられたっていう気が僕はすごくするんですけれども。
I see it differently. I see that the music that people love and appreciate, like film music, could be rock music, could be folk music. It's always there. It is always part of our society, our changing musical culture. And I have been very lucky to be, in a way, a Londoner from England. I'm Australian originally, but I was brought up and I've lived all my life in London. And so in London you see all these different changes in society. Now, I'm someone who's very interested in society's values, in cultural values. Point of view, exactly. And so I see that I respond to them. For me, it's not that I do something new, but I see something and I think, I meet someone.
でも僕は面白いなと思うんですけど、あなたはクラシカルなギタリストとしてやってこられて、そして70年代ぐらいからの前後だと思うんですけども、突然スカイなんていうロックグループ作られて、変化されていって、そういうのっていうのは、僕たちが今やっているよりももっと大きな周りの抵抗があったと思うんですね、世間の。 社会的な非常に大きな抵抗っていうか、何かあったと思うんですけども、それをよくその打破されましたねっていう。
When I was with some friends in the group Sky, we, for the guitar world, for the amateur guitarists, for the professional guitarists, there was some criticism. But if you are living your life, what you believe in and what you enjoy, what can you do? You continue to do it. You know, the truth, the true thing, the beautiful thing is
very natural way.
Is a natural way. And it's natural to continue. And I have an idea which is, it applies in music, in society, in politics, and everything, okay? There are people who are open to new things, who want to see things develop and improve. Improve with communication and, with their hearts to communicate, to enjoy other people. But many people are conservative, and they are frightened. They have fear, and they find it very difficult to accept change. It's in politics, but it's also in art and music. And I think that if you continue to do what you want, people in time, people will come to understand. They will understand it. And those that don't, well, it's bad luck, we say, bad luck, but it's their loss. It's their loss. So it's not, you don't have to fight. I was never fighting. Just continue to do what I like doing.
そういう生き方すべてがもう非常にジョン・ウィリアムズさんの場合は魅力的なんですけれども、今ジョンさんはまたそのロックのところで得た知識なのかもしれないけれども、クラシカルギターで従来なかったその PA を使うという方法ですね。アンプ増幅ということで大きなコンサートで演奏会されるようになって、それからプログラムも非常に若い人たちが興味を持つ、エスニックな音楽をやってみたりとか、そういうふうにまた音楽の方向性を少し変えられましたよね。それはどういうところから来てるんでしょう。
The important thing for us with the guitar is, as you know, is the quality. And the reason that I use amplification is that in big halls, I think you have to the sound must still be warm. Warm and not percussive, not aggressive. And without the microphone, the guitar is so quiet. We are trying to make enough volume for the big hall. We're going ta, 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 ta. And the sound it's not nice. Either it's not nice, or if we don't, you can't, nothing, you can't hear it. I would like now to play the theme tune of a theme from a film score by the American composer John Williams, who is, as you will know, is not me, someone else. And this is the theme from his wonderful music for the film Schindler's List.
クラシックギターの音の魅力っていうのを、ジョン・ウィリアムスさんのその魅力ちょっと見せていただけますか。
Well, it's better to have the instrument, but maybe you should play it.
No.
I think, the thing that makes the guitar so different from other instruments is we can play like very fast notes if we want. We can play something very, for example, all guitarists play this, and it's a wonderful way of playing a melody. But we can also play So, there are many ways of playing a melody. We can play with these two simple you can't play like that on the violin with two parts like that. We can play a melody if we want. We can go or we can play very simple melodies, but we can play them in different ways. Or we can play something very it's the variety of sound. We can play something like that that's maybe a little bit more popular. You could even put that maybe in a slightly rock sort of. But we have all these different things we can do on the guitar from different. We could have South American music, which has a. This is an African piece, by the way, not South American, but it sounds a little South American. We can play like melody and accompaniment together, not just the melody, not just the so many. There are so many instrumental guitar effects, and yet really the magic of the guitar is that we can play look, etc. You know this well. So I think that's the essence of the guitar.
僕はすごくあなたが最初にお会いした時にねっていうのは南フランスでもう十何年でしょう1982年ぐらいだと思いますが南フランスでお会いしてるんですよ。で初めて公開レッスンがあった時に僕は聴講生の中にいたんですけれども最初に譜面台がなかったんであなたは自分で譜面台をちょっと探してくるって言って自分で何百人も生徒の前で自分で譜面台とテーブルを運んできたんですよね。あのこと今でも覚えてるんですけれどもそういう人柄がよくわかります。
I forgot that. Yes.
Everybody's like clapping.
Really? I forgot that. Was that in Castres?
In Castres, yes.
Castres, oh,
Yes.
Castres, of course, exactly.
82, I think.
Yes,
No,
probably
no,
that.
before.
82, 81, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Something, yes. No, I forgot that. But that is an example in classes, you know. I think when you have Masterclass, you know, the ideal of teaching, the whole, we say, object or the whole reason to teach is to help the student teach themselves, that they can teach themselves, that they don't need a teacher. Because when the lesson has finished, the student goes home, the student has no teacher. The student is at home with a guitar or whatever. And the ideal is for a teacher, isn't it, to teach. So this old, I call it old-fashioned, this very traditional idea that the teacher is great master. You should do this, do that, do this vibrato, do this.
そうされるんだろうと思ってたんですよ。だからもう行った時にはびっくりしました。あなた一人一人の生徒さんに今のを聞いてどう思ったかっていうのを逆に他の生徒に聞いていかれたでしょ。ああいうレッスンをされる方ってね非常に珍しいと思う。
Yes, well that's what it should, I mean it really is, I like a student to play something and then I say, why do you play like this, why? You know, they have to think, they have to give an explanation, they have to show why, they have to consider alternative, their hearts have to be open, but if we say to them, no, play that first measure faster, then put the second finger instead of the first finger, it's no problem for them. They do, yes, it's like a machine. They just imitate, you know. So this is the problem with teaching, is that not only the teacher is, I would say, is wrong, but the students have the wrong attitude. It's easier for them. And you learn nothing except maybe like listening to a CD, you know, just a copy. Like a photocopier, like a fax machine, you know. It's nothing.
それは本当に今の世の中っていうのは大きな問題だと思います。たくさんの音楽をやってるギタリスト、まあギタリストに限らず音楽家ですねの卵たちっていうのはこれだけ CD が世の中にいっぱいある。 CD というのはもう何回聴いても減らないわけですから、そういうものを聴いて何回も反復して先生と同じ演奏するようにも自動的になってきているので、非常に個性が失われているっていうか、そういう感じが今僕も非常にいろんなところでマスタークラスをやるもんですから教えてて思うんですね。
Yes, I think I agree. You're right. I would say even more. But what I'm saying, I'm going to say, what I'm going to say is not possible. But really, there should not be any CDs. There should really, for the good of people, for their happiness, for society, there should be no recordings. Actually, it's not good for our profession, I agree. But it would be better, you know, because many musicians, not only guitarists obviously, but on all instruments, they hear a perfect example always. They put a CD, and they are discouraged. They are, you know, they feel it's not worth, that their playing is not so good. But it is, you know. Everyone's playing what they want to express, what they want to communicate to a friend or to the family is important.
Yeah.
But many people then don't play because they think, oh, it's not so good as Shinichi Fukuda or John Williams. It's not as good as they play on record, on CD. But really, you know, it's awful for us to know that someone doesn't. It's the nicest thing, I think, and you must have the same, is when someone comes after one of your concerts, they come round and they say, it was wonderful. I wanted to go home and practice immediately. I was to go. That is great, isn't it? Yeah. When someone says it inspires them to play. But when people come round and they say, "Oh, it was great. It was wonderful. I'm never going to play again because I can't play like you do." That's depressing.
Yeah.
That's awful.
ジョン・ウィリアムさんにね、僕はいつも日頃の、演奏会僕がやってて、いつも思ってることをちょっとここでお伺いしたいんですけども、今の世の中っていうのは非常にこうノイズが多いっていうか、特に東京や大阪大都会では非常に、音に満ち溢れている、しかも大きな音にこう溢れているんですね。でその中でこうなんて言うんでしょうか、クラシックギターっていうもの、なんか今の人間っていうのはそのギターの音、この小さな音をこう楽しんで、そこの中にいろんなニュアンスを見つけてくれる、そういう弾き方をなかなかしてくださらないので、時々そのフラストレーションが起こるんですけれども、ジョン・ウィリアムさんはいかがですか？
Well, I don't have an easy answer. I don't have. I'm sure you don't either. It's just a problem that we have to live with. But I think it's a general problem. It's not only us on the guitar. And I think, you know, for example, in 1700, when people were playing the lute or playing koto, very traditional Japanese music or something, society was so quiet. There were no machines, like you said, and there were no motor cars. There were everything was very, very quiet. And I think people's hearing, you know, your hearing changes with you know, so our ears now are not so sensitive as they were. And I think, I mean, this is one reason I use amplification, not to make a lot of noise. Not to do that. That's very easy. We can always turn up the amplifier like a rock group. No, we don't have to do that. But I think that we have to accept society as it is. And we are playing guitars, for example, in concert halls, which seat 500, 1,000, 1,500 people, maybe 2,000 people. Many years ago, this didn't exist. You know, the guitar was being played in a room.
Yes.
And the guitar in a room is very loud. We forget that, you know. A guitar in rooms, typical rooms of 200 years ago, many of the rooms were quite small. They had wood walls, wood floors. It was very, for the guitar, it was very full, resonant sound. And if we're going to play in a concert hall, to play really quiet, without any assistance, without any help from the, it's like it's the worst of both worlds.
Yeah.
And so my answer to the general question is it's a compromise. That there is no perfect answer, you know, but we just must try and retain the magic variety, the magic variety of guitar sound. That's really the thing. But today, I think we have just fantastic opportunity that the guitar, it belongs to the world of music, you know, and no other instrument has this wide, wide, if you like, really now it is a tradition. You know, there is a tradition of guitar which is very wide. That's what I think. So I see myself as just to be lucky to be in this sea, you know.